Now, have you ever heard of Fool's Gold Loaf? Made famous by
Little Elvis Aaron Presley?
yes, they were getting a whole loaf of bread,
Right.
scoring out all the middle stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then stuffing it with bacon, bananas, peanut butter, and jelly.
No wonder he died in the room he died in. Did they deep fry this sandwich?
According to them, no, in the picture I saw, it wasn't
just
deep fried. I think his private chefs took that idea and then started deep frying,
the
make it like a
original-
Monte Cristo.
The original was the healthy option.
Yeah.
Big and fat, I'd marry that if I only could.
Oh, fat baby back blue.
Gdayall, and welcome to episode 28. Today is all about you and your life partner, Phil.
My life partner.
When did you? I would hope so. Did you have to think?
Yeah, I had to think about that life partner.
When did you realize you were PB&J?
Last week when we said this is what we're going to do this week.
That's right.
I said I've seen those initials somewhere. Yeah.
Except this time it's peanut butter and jelly, which could be a life partner as well. You love peanut butter, as do I. Today's topics, we're going to talk about, a 2014 survey about the good old PB&J.
It's a bit outdated.
Well, okay, let's discuss it when we get to it and see
All
if we
right,
can
all
put
right.
it in
Yeah, I
modern
don't want to
spin.
jump ahead.
Stop it.
Ow.
Who thought of it? The evolution from fancy lunches to Uncrustables, which I think is the most ridiculous product ever invented, but that's me. Again, with your dad in the GIs.
That GIs.
The GIs have a bit of history with it. Why is it such an American delicacy, and what do we love about it? Is it the sweet, salty thing, or the ease, or maybe all of it?
All about it.
And is it good for you? Hello, Mr. Kellogg. He shows up again.
Which one? We'll find out.
We'll find out. How to upgrade your everyday PB&J. And then there's some ultimate upgrades, which are a bit fancy. We had one today
So
before
is
the
that
show.
like going from Jif to Laura Scudder's or something like that? How do you upgrade it?
Upgrade from your bag lunch to my restaurant might want to try to give you.
Yep.
And the most important thing, how do you stop it from getting soggy? If it's sitting in your lunchbox all day and you don't make it right, you end up with the jelly peeking through the bread.
Oh, that's sticky soggy. That's sticky. I was saying, how do you get it from being sticky?
Yes. Well, it just sort of runs through and it breaks apart.
Yeah.
I should ask Dolores what she did. We might have to, I'll have to call her out.
Mm-hmm.
So we also, when I was working in the shop, this was the most important and often asked question. And so this public service announcement is jelly versus jam versus Jell-O. So I would have people come in, as I'm sure you did too, and they thought that they had to put peanut butter. And she said, "Do you like I put jelly crystals?"
Schmokes.
Well, because in Australia,
they don't have jelly.
Jell-O. They call gelatin.
Gelatin,
A jelly. And so it would be confusing because people thought they would have to make a bowl of Jell-O and then slap that on, or jelly crystals.
Well, I think you got it the other way. It's jelly over here. What we call Jell-O, they call jelly.
Yeah.
Okay, and what we call jelly, they call conserves or preserves or something.
Yeah, and so
I think conserves, because preserves is still have the whole fruit, and conserves is just using the nectar and all that without the fruity bits.
Yeah, jam or conserves has the the seeds and bits of fruit in it.
Yeah.
And jelly is sort of strained out, so it looks like gelatin, but it's actually fruit jelly.
Mm-hmm.
So traditionally, we call jam jelly back at home just to make it easy. So that is, so if you question, you've always worried about it, that's the story.
Okay. And did you tell people this was a public service announcement?
I did.
Brought to you by Boutoni. Yeah.
We need the little dee-dee-dee-dee.
Yeah. Okay. And let's go to fun fact number 1.
Yes, please.
President George W.
Junior. Yep.
Bush. He didn't like to be called Junior, I don't think. I got to ask him. Okay.
I think he's mellowed now, so he probably wouldn't mind as
but
much.
his favorite sandwich is peanut butter. peanut butter and jelly.
Well, I can see him wandering
I can just see
down.
it all over his face. Yeah.
Laura, that's good. Can you bring me another?
This peanut butter is so dry, I'm choking. No, that was pretzels. Okay.
Yeah, that's Kramer. And fun fact number 2. So we can talk about this.
Yeah.
Allegedly,
East Coast, West Coast.
Yes. So allegedly, East Coast people prefer creamy, and West Coast prefer crunchy.
It's I guess the West Coast, they have to have something where they're more,
crunchy, granola like.
Yeah, granola crunchy, Neil Diamond type, That's what he found out when he went over there.
Oh, right.
Yeah. They have to experience it more,
Well,
I can experience the crunchiness between my teeth as I bite down.
When they have one of those moments. Stop making fun of my people. It's not all of us, just a few. When I moved here and I bought crunchy peanut butter here, I find the difference as well, is because I go crunchy because West Coast. It's not roasted peanuts. It's just like peanut chunks. So when you if you buy American peanut butter, so if you come in and see us, if you get the crunchy peanut butter, it tastes so much better because it's like a dry roasted bits of nut in it.
Yeah. Well, the biggest difference is by U.S. law, by the U.S. Department of Agriculture.
God bless.
Okay. You know who worked for the USDA?
Who?
In Kansas?
Who?
Guess.
Norman. Play the song, bring it fun again.
Got that, Rachel? Okay. Yes. So by the USDA, by law, to be called peanut butter, has to have over 90% or more peanuts in it.
Oh, fantastic.
Over here, if you look at a jar of peanut butter, because they do put the percentage, it's usually about 80 or 85.
Mm-hmm.
That 5% means that it's something else besides peanuts.
That's right.
And usually something that's not too good for you, like hydrogenated oil.
Actually, we have another public service announcement. Because we both love dogs. We've got Kimmy, we've had Ralphie is part of the show.
Yeah.
If you get you have to check your peanut butter labels now, because often they will put, because the ones that used to add sugar, they'll say no sugar,
right?
But they put xylitol in it. Starts with an X, and that's actually poisonous to dogs. Xylitol. So it's sweet.
Not in any peanut butter I buy.
No, well, that me either, but there might be some people. So now it's one of those things you have to check.
That's a cheap brand, yeah.
That's right. Dog killers. So don't do that. So
can't afford regular sugar.
Well, it's one of those things. They're tricking you by making you think it's got no sugar, but just something else. So be careful.
I thought I saw a plant of xylitol outside.
And we have a big reminder now that we're doing all these announcements.
Okay.
Saturday.
This is reminder number 1. Yep. Saturday, the 10th of April.
Yes. In-store podcast recording.
Yeah.
So you can come and see us. We'll be having chats with Richie, who is a guest early on.
Mm-hmm.
And
I know he's bringing some of his salsa with him. And maybe with a little luck, he hasn't done it yet.
Those tamales.
Yes.
Although I'm not sharing. And we also probably have some more tastings around now that we can, make them COVID safe and everyone can do that without cross-contaminating anything.
Still no double dipping.
Nope, none of that.
Okay, so that's all for the fun facts and reminders and the public service announcements. That's something new we're going to add on? The public service announcements?
We need to find another fire fryer so we can have a news break. I missed those.
Okay, we'll have to look on the news of, who OD'd on peanut butter in the last 24 hours.
True.
Okay, and we'll be right back after our first break. So here's our survey that we found. Yes. I don't know if this was the one from 1914. Which one?
2014.
Oh, 2014. Yes. Okay, but this is the Huffington Post. You ever see that lady that owns it?
Ariana?
Yeah, she's pretty out there.
She is, and I don't know what her accent is, but it's good. But
I think she's like Zaza.
She's a bit like Zaza. She's blonde.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I don't know.
Okay, we digress.
Yes. Okay. So they did a survey on the best peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Okay.
And the results show that 36% say strawberry jam is favorite as opposed to 31% for grape.
Right.
I'm more of a strawberry. I'm neither. I prefer apricot.
Ooh, I haven't done that.
Yeah,
I
apricot.
personally like boysenberry jam.
Yeah. Well, California.
Yes.
Mr. Nuts.
Or crab apple jelly.
That was like one of the original ones.
Yeah, because
We'll get
it's
into
tart.
the history. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. And that's why you put peanut butter on apples.
Yes, because it's got that tart sort of.
And the other good thing that on apples is barbecue sauce.
I have never tried that. That makes me a little bit afraid.
No, don't be afraid.
Okay.
Use a sweet barbecue sauce or even a little smoky one.
I got a bit of Mitch's in the fridge.
Yep.
Should I
just
try that?
Mhm.
Okay, green apple?
You'll be surprised. I don't know, whatever apple you like. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And if you cut the skin off, you wouldn't know
All right.
if it's green or red.
That's true.
Okay.
Yes.
And the favorite bread, 54% said white,
Yes.
and the other 56% lied about it. Oh, no, I don't like white bread. I have to have wholemeal.
No, you need to have the Wonder Soft, where you.
Yeah, with the little balloons on it.
That's right.
And the favorite peanut butter is smooth by 56%, and a whopping 80% like their peanut butter and jelly with the crust left on the sandwich. Who ever thought? I always had it with the crust, but most of the time I never ate the crust.
Yeah, no, I didn't either. Or I'd get in trouble if I didn't eat the crust.
Yeah, but there's nothing when you get to the crust. There's nothing on it.
No, that's right, because you can't spread it all the way over because it oozes over the side.
Yeah.
Now, what I have to say is Dolores, who was our early guest, her school lunch every day of the 8 years I went to school with her was a PB&J on brown bread, and I'm positive it wasn't cut. I'm positive just 2 slabs of bread, bang.
Put in wax paper.
Now, we were pre-Ziplocs, but I think we had saran wrap. And she had an orange, and that was it. I think she had grape jelly. But yeah, she always had her crust. I used to sit there and pull the crusts off my sandwiches.
Yeah.
And my kids were not as smart as I was. Sorry, children. Because when they didn't finish something in their lunch, they put it back in their lunchbox, and they never got in trouble.
Yeah, because then you knew not to put it, they didn't eat it.
That's right. Yeah. But we just chucked ours away so we wouldn't get yelled at for wasting food.
And then you got it again the next day.
That's exactly right. And going back to the smooth and crunchy. So you and Jeanette, both East Coast, both smooth?
No, she's crunchy.
Did LA get to her, or was it always?
I think it was always.
Yeah, it's
good.
I
remember it all the way back then when we lived in New York.
And talking about, so Mom was crunchy, California girl through and through, and Herman, who is from the South but grew up in New York.
Yep.
He's smooth.
Well, that's where peanut butter originated from, right? The South.
The South, that's right, because of the peanut crops.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about a little, what else we got there is the origins of peanut butter and jelly. But should we talk about the origins of peanut butter first?
Well, yes, I will leave that to you because I was talking about how it got together, but you tell me.
Okay. Well, in 1880, Dr. St. Louis, he's from St. Louis physician, Dr. Ambrose Straub, crushed peanuts into a paste for his geriatric patients with bad teeth. Sort of like the Collingwood people. I love Collingwood. Oh, I love Collingwood. Yeah, all the people there.
Or if you want to go for my hometown audience, for the Raiders.
The Raiders. So he made it in a paste so they could have something to eat because they had no teeth left, right? And then at the 1893 World's Fair, known as the World's Columbian Exposition, it gained exposure and popularity. So it was, I guess he brought it to the World's Fair.
Yeah.
It became popular. And in 1903, on, look at this, on February the 14th.
Valentine's Day. It's Peanut Butter Day.
Here's the number of the day, 721651. That's the patent number for the milling of grinding peanuts into butter.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so there's the number of the day.
How funny, because I have a patent number coming up too. Who would have thought?
What, patent leather shoes or patent pot?
We will speak about this later because I find this a ridiculous patent, but that one makes sense. So when peanut butter, so that was perfectly healthy going for the geriatric patients.
Yeah.
Although the poor people Imagine it sticking to the top of their mouth. How would they get that?
So anyway, so get back to just a little bit more history. So he basically sold it off to a food company owned by George Gdayall Jr. So that was the first company that made it. So it's Gdayall Foods Products of St. Louis made the first peanut butter commercially.
I did not come across that. Your research is above par today.
And they took it to the St. Louis World's Fair. Big success, gained exposure, popularity. Sold it out in 3 days at a penny a sample and earned a profit of $705.11. So that's the profit. So that means he did more than 705 sales of it, but he sold it out. I don't know how big the samples were, but only a penny. Yeah, so you got to try it, And then soon grocers and all that started doing it in large things. And like the rest is history,
So like most history, did anyone, did a large company buy it from him and rip him off? Like we usually
probably
see.
Marjorie Post bought them. But,
she probably did.
Yeah. But also, now here's another interesting fun fact. We should put this in the fun facts. In the 1900s, peanut butter was considered a delicacy.
I did see that.
It was snobby.
It was fancy.
Yeah, fancy smashy. You have to drink the little tea with your fingers sticking out and the whole bit. It was served at upscale affairs in some of New York's finest tea rooms, like the Ye Old English Coffee House. Made peanut butter and pimento sandwiches. Like,
ooh.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Ooh.
Why?
Although, hang on. Before I go ooh with a lot of things. You got to try it, right? Well, let's look at satay sauce.
Yeah. I like putting peanut butter on a hamburger. You ever tried that?
That's coming up.
That's coming up. Okay. So I shouldn't have talked about it now. But
no, you can sell me on it later.
Okay.
All right. Because I can't see that.
And then at the Vanity Fair tea room.
Yes.
Right. They did peanut butter with watercress.
Ooh.
Tootsie Bootsy,
Vegetables with your peanut butter.
Yes. And then at the Colonia tea room, served peanut butter on toast triangles and soda crackers.
Now, when I was sick, Grandma used to give me peanut butter on saltines. That would be similar.
That's the same thing. Yeah, that's right. Whenever you had an upset stomach, have some saltines. I have and you need a biscuit or something like that, right?
That's exactly right.
I don't need a biscuit. No, that's the name of it. You need a biscuit.
You'll settle your stomach. Just shut up and have it.
Yeah. All right, now you can talk about go to the next step where the history
where they get together.
Yes.
Well, I would have thought it was a tired mother that came up with it, but it wasn't. I was wrong. So as you talked about, it was a bit fancy. And the first time it actually appears in a cookbook in 1901, the Boston Cooking School magazine had to have a recipe. So it's 3 very thin layers of bread and 2 of filling. 1 of peanut paste, whatever brand you prefer. Who is the guy that made it? Maybe it was his.
Yeah, Bailey or Bale. Yep.
That's right. And currant or crabapple jelly for the other. And like you said, it began as like a fancy little vegetarian alternative to having a little ham sandwich or a little what do they call it? Voulevants, those little things. Yeah. So what would happen now if I went into
how do you say what's peanut in French? You have to look that up.
I'll have to look that up. I don't know. So if I went to the plaza today,
and asked for a peanut butter sandwich,
I wonder what would happen. I don't know.
Bing, there'd be security.
And so there was an evolution because at the beginning, as we said, it was fancy, but then the price dropped.
Yeah.
And so
probably because of Marjorie.
Probably because of Marjorie.
Yeah.
And so it became popular with children and sort of the mid and lower classes because you just think how hard it was to get a hold of food during some of those, during the Depression and everything else. So a jar of peanut butter would, be able to, sustain your family.
And do you know the first 2 big commercial companies of peanut butter?
Tell me.
They're still around today. 100 years later.
Well,
in the 1920s and 30s, they came out. So the 2 ultra creamy peanut butters, because then they started doing like the mass production, refining it. And I guess like the first ones that came out were probably grainy.
Yeah, they would be because it's that paste.
Yeah, and these guys really meant, and then probably added the sugar into it and the oil. So the first 2 were Peter Pan peanut butter.
My fave. Yeah,
it's Michael Jackson's favorite too, and and Skippy.
I love Skippy and Jif. Now, like Jif, we were a Skippy household.
Yeah.
But I think Jif crunchy is superior to Skippy crunchy.
Mm.
Because we have that at work too.
And you notice if you look at a jar of Skippy,
yes,
and you look at a jar of Jif, the colors are different.
Yes, they are, because Jiffy's darker.
Yes. No, it's the other way. I thought it was the other way around.
I'll have to look now, but if anything happens and there's an apocalypse, like a zombie apocalypse, everyone at work can survive from my desk drawer. So
peanut butter is in there, Barbara.
I have got my jar of Peter Pan peanut butter sitting in there, so when I get really desperate, I can have a spoonful of that. That will get me through the afternoon.
Yeah, because they say that if you're really hungry, have a tablespoonful of peanut butter. And even if you're on a diet, even though it has a lot of fats, but it's all monosaturated fats.
Yeah, it's not bad fats.
Stuff, that will fill you up. And it's like 9 grams of protein.
And it's the crunchy one, so I'm chewing something. So it's even better.
Yeah, but if you get the creamy one, then you're playing with your mouth to try to get
it out.
Yeah, try to get up the top of your roof.
But then if I have to answer a call quickly, we're in trouble.
Yeah, it's like if you give him peanut butter to Ralphie.
Yeah, oh God, he loves it.
Yeah, but he's like... Good thing we're not on TV. Yeah. This is their tongues are going to I can't get it. It's like.
That's how they make the animals look like they're talking in movies.
Oh, really? They give them peanut butter?
On the roof of their mouth.
Oh, I'm mean.
Mr. Ed, that's what they used to do with Mr. Ed, too.
What was the RSPCA?
Now, the average American, not my mother, which we found out today, we will talk about this. The average American will eat 1,500 PB&Js before graduating from high school.
Oh,
which makes sense. Bag it every day, and then you have one after school.
Yeah.
Again, I think my mother cringes a bit when I talk about going home after school.
So in 2 years, you hit that target number then. Yeah.
That's right. And but talking to my mom today, she said that she had never had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich till she put the range between 25 and 29 years old.
Mother was surprised.
I know. Well, my grandma evidently would only give her peanut butter very occasionally, only if she could brush her teeth right away because she thought she'd get cavities from the peanut butter sticking. And then she wasn't into the jelly. She thought this was too sweet. Can I just say aside, her husband, my grandpa, who ended up being her ex-husband after a while, he would go get a maple bar donut, bring it home, put it in the oven, then put jelly on top of it. So I don't know how Grandma won you can't have peanut butter and jelly, where Grandpa here's a donut with jelly on it. The Uncrustable sandwich, which was developed in 1995 in Fargo, North Dakota, by Len Kretschmann and David Geske, two fathers who began mass producing these sandwiches for Midwestern schools. And what they are is it's a circle. So imagine making a peanut butter and jelly on white bread and then sticking a cookie cutter or a biscuit cutter in the middle of it. Yeah. So it crimps the outside of it. And then they would freeze them. It is the most ridiculous thing because a 3-year-old can make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Now they sell them frozen in a box. Right? So you just grab them and let it defrost. I remember Zaina had some in her freezer when I went to visit, and I'd be rating her. I'm like, how can you be so freaking lazy to even do that? Anyway, so they thought that's a good idea. And they actually put through a patent number 6,000,004,596. And it was rejected in 1995.
Just like those two guys at the in Whitehall Street, yeah.
That's right. They were rejected. But then they appealed it, actually. And then when they appealed it, it was rejected again because they said it's a peanut butter sandwich. You can't patent cutting the crust off a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Remember when they came out with round white bread?
Yes, pipe loaf, it was called.
Pipe loaf. And you know what the reason was? Because all your cold cuts, or what they call it here, manufactured meat, was round.
Okay, and I get that because when I was a kid...
Except for the cheese was square.
That's right. Talking about the lunches...
Yeah, the bologna was round.
Yeah, and the corners, I just picked those off because I want the whole sandwich experience, not the dry crust on the corner. Mom was saying she used to roll up cold cuts for me and put a little toothpick through it because she just...
Like a little canopy.
That's right. It was a little bit fancy. Now...
Oh, going back to the GIs again in the military.
That's exactly right.
We just stand.
Oh my God. Maybe you should have saved that story
wasn't a
for
joke.
this
That's
one.
a true story.
Do you know, sometimes it's like I remember scenes from Animal House when you're telling these stories. It all comes back. So in 1941 to 1945, both peanut butter and jelly were on the U.S. military ration menus in World War II. It said that American soldiers added jelly to their peanut butter to make it more palatable.
Yeah, they probably would have had like the
crappy, powdery sort of
real bottom of the the low budget, low bid one.
The rejected peanuts.
Yeah.
So peanut butter provided an inexpensive and high protein alternative to meats for soldiers. So no, on a shingle. Yeah. It was an instant hit, and return servicemen, this is like the pizza story, return servicemen made peanut butter and jelly sales soar in the U.S. Since World War II, both peanut butter and jelly have been found on the U.S. soldiers' military ration list.
Yeah, because it keeps well.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't go bad.
And it's a comfort food.
Comfort food, yeah.
So it's like they're having a bit of chocolate too.
Yeah, and it's filling, high protein, got everything you want in it.
That is exactly right.
Okay, so speaking of putting them together.
Yes.
Okay, so what do we love about it? So Goober,
yes.
Goober. Remember Goober from, what was Goober from?
Andy Griffith's show.
Andy Griffith. Hey, Goober. I never knew what Goober was, until recently. So Goober is...
Goober and Gomer.
Goober.
Gomer pie.
So Goober was introduced in 1968, and basically trying to make it easier for people, they blended the peanut butter and the jelly together.
Right.
Like, again, you can't go open two jars. You have to go to...
I know. And, I personally think that's not my favorite peanut butter.
No, the peanut butter is grainy.
Yeah. And, in the store, it's not like I'm trying to upsell people.
Yeah.
But if they want Goober, I'm like, yep, sure, absolutely. You can have it. But why don't you try?
Yeah. But it looks nice.
It does look nice. It's a good present.
The way they did it in the vertical stripes.
Yes.
Yeah. And then they also did a chocolate one. And over here, you say I haven't seen a honey one.
No, that would be, Herman is a peanut butter and honey man. He would love that.
That goes back to the taste of sweet and salty.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And looking at a Goober jar, though, because I'm a little bit of a perfectionist with some things, which don't laugh, Brenda. But when you use one of those jars, because it's the stripe, so you open the lid and you see the jelly, it's jelly, peanut butter, jelly, peanut butter, jelly, peanut butter. Once you put the knife in it, it's ruined.
Well, maybe you're supposed to spoon it out.
Well, even then, it's
no instructions on it.
No, it just blows my mind away. But we love, as a people, sweet and salty.
Yep.
Like kettle corn.
Or Chicago corn.
Yes, that's right. We were talking about that the other week.
So that's like, if people don't know, that's like kettle corn with...
it's caramel corn and cheese.
And like cheese.
Cheddar cheese corn.
Cheddar cheese corn. That's weird.
But it tastes good together. And chicken and waffles. Who thought of that?
I don't know, but that's a great combination.
Bacon and syrup, which is on the same thing.
Yes.
And I think part of
Pigs in a blanket. We talked about that a while ago, right? Doing pancakes, rolling them up with the Jimmy Deans in the middle, and then pouring syrup. Oh, God.
Well, back to the ease of this, though. I think even kids can make it, and they can come home from school. Now, no one goes home on their own anymore, pretty much. But in the oldest days,
you go
come home from school, and
you're hungry.
You can make it.
Well, even if your parents were home,
PB&J?
They'll make you that. But see, for me, I never had PB&J when I was a kid.
Oh, see, you're like my mother.
No, I had something better.
What?
I made mayonnaise sandwiches.
Oh, that's my mother's favorite.
I made mayonnaise sandwiches, and my other favorite sandwich, and nobody could understand, but being Italian, we always had those little tins of anchovies.
Right.
I made anchovy sandwiches.
I could see. I know a kid that is my daughter's age, and she used to have, she had sardine sandwiches, not anchovies. Yeah.
And one time I remember, I would have been probably first grade or something like that. I was up in the Bronx, and I get the Hellman's mayonnaise out of the fridge.
Yes.
And it's still in a glass jar then.
Yes.
And I dropped it. It was disgusting when you drop it. Oh, I got sick. Oh. It's like a blob of, I don't know. And then I had to try picking it up because I broke it. So I better clean up.
That's right. And did you get murdered for wasting a whole jar
No,
of mayo?
I didn't get, but because I was good, I cleaned it up.
Yeah, okay. I would have given you points for that. Yeah. It's funny. Mom's favorite thing is a mayo sandwich. And I remember she looked at me one time, I can see her doing, like, do you want a mayonnaise sandwich? I'm like, ooh, that
then
sounds
I got fancy
good.
with mayonnaise and tomatoes.
Ooh, that's good.
Tomatoes and mayonnaise, it's like good. Well, I know what maybe we should do
like peas and carrots.
A whole section on mayonnaise now.
Another thing, like nut allergies weren't what they are now. So, you know.
Because everybody had at an early age peanut butter.
Yeah.
And they're finding out now that, when your kids are like, when they could go on solid food, give them some peanut butter.
I wonder what it is between the US and here. I have not looked up the statistics, but, you know, Phil Jr., so, you know, he started off in the States, so you would have started off with peanut butter with him possibly on toast. Mm-hmm. And I know with my kids, I gave them peanut butter right away. It wasn't like a Vegemite house because you give your kids what you know. Because
you're the boss and Brendan's not.
Anyway, yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
And, you know.
Vegemite out of here. It's me or the Vegemite.
That's right. And
you choose.
It's a tough choice sometimes. So Mackenzie, when she started school, up until probably just before her sister started, I was able to send a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with her, or a peanut butter sandwich.
You can't.
No peanut butter cookies, because I do peanut butter cookies as well.
So isn't that discrimination against Americans?
No, I just didn't want any of the kids in the class to die, so I just didn't do it. They have EpiPens, but sometimes they don't get to them quick enough. But I don't want
that's against our heritage.
Well, that's what I was kind of like. I thought that was good because she was kind of, you know, that was a protein. And, you know, Ainsley was the same. That was a protein she would eat because she was fussy with other stuff. And, you know, so, but they just did not, it was just not allowed at all. No nut butters. And then it was no mango, it was no kiwi, there was a lot of stuff.
Yeah, just bring water. Yeah.
And then once they hit high school, they didn't care anymore. And that was it. But I think, you know, when you were a little kid or older, you made your own sandwich, go to school, your mother made it. Was just easy, quick. You didn't have to worry about ham on a hot day going funny.
Did you know anybody at school that had an allergy?
No, not that I can think of. Dolores might correct me if she's there. At
our age, you know, your age, my age, are two different generations here.
I had no one that
I knew
had
nobody neither.
Yeah,
no.
that was
everything.
It. Yeah.
The only allergy you had was not getting hit if you didn't eat it.
Yes, and if something fell, you still like God made dirt and dirt don't hurt was the saying that we had.
We had the 5-second rule.
Yeah.
Because we had no dirt on the floor. It was just concrete. Yeah. And roach droppings.
Well, now, so if you have an allergy, it's not good for you. But let's just talk about it. Is it good for you? Yeah. So in the late 19th century, so it was the popular snack was the tea sandwiches, as we discussed.
Yeah.
With butter, cucumber, cold cuts, cheese. Around this time, health food advocates like John Harvey Kellogg, here he is, started promoting peanut products as a replacement for animal-based foods, butter included. So a vegetarian option at these lunches was peanut butter.
So John was the one who lost the lawsuit for the name of Kellogg's.
That's right. So he's the doctor.
Yeah, so he had the sanitarium.
So a statistic is, peanut butter and jelly sandwich that's made with 2 slices of white bread, 2 tablespoons each of peanut butter and grape jelly. That's a bit heavy on the jelly, but right in the peanut butter, is 403 calories, 18 grams of fat, 58 grams of carbs, and 12 grams of protein, which is 27% of the recommended daily intake of fat and 22% of the calories.
Yeah, but see, that's a misnomer because the fat is not saturated.
That's right.
And that's the bad fat.
That's exactly right.
It's a monosaturated fat.
The next bit is roughly 50% of the calories are from fat. Most of them come from monounsaturated fat and polyunsaturated fats, which the American Heart Association considers beneficial to heart health. Mm-hmm. And it's true.
Yeah. And if you look for a healthier peanut butter, just look for that it's not hydrogenated oils.
That's right.
Whether it's peanut oil or whatever, because a hydrogenated actually makes it like a saturated.
Right? Has Jeanette done peanut butter in her Thermomix? Has she done the homemade stuff?
No. Thermos is
Well, when she
right
first
now it's
got
collecting
it.
dust. Yeah.
Well, that's okay. But when you first get it, you Thermomix everything.
Yeah.
And I made peanut butter. And when you make your own peanut butter, the oils go to the top, and that's
Yeah.
the natural fats from it. So you have to turn the jar upside down. I did that in an emergency one time for a recipe. I was like, "Oh, do we have peanuts? Quick."
But who keeps peanuts in the house? Raw peanuts.
I did.
Yeah.
Well, no, mine are roasted because
Roasted.
even when I
they
make
roasted.
peanut butter, I have roasted.
Otherwise they go rancid, I guess.
That is true.
So, and then upgrades.
Yes.
Yeah, this is like going on the airplane. Oh, we just upgraded you. Okay.
So your economy seat sandwich would be.
I like the last one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So this is just adding some things to your normal peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So you can add things like sliced strawberries,
Bananas.
yum, honey.
We talked about that. Chocolate chips. There we go. Now we're getting into the
Good stuff.
Yeah.
That's right.
And then back to the bed with apples. And then great.
Cooked bacon.
Whoa. Bacon and it's just go to, again, it's a sweet and salty and double fat. I mean, because the things that your body craves are sweet, fat, salt.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
I was watching a cooking competition, and there's this woman, she was from the South. I think she was from, I want to say Arkansas. She goes, everything's good with a little bit of pig in it. I was like, God bless you. That is true. And then we also have sort of the ultimate upgrades. And these are people who have taken that tradition and then just expanded. So today, this morning, we had an ultimate upgrade brunch. Breakfasty, brunchy thing.
Yes. Yes, we did. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Even though you put fresh fruit on it and ruined it.
But I did roll it in sugar first.
Yes.
That's all right. So hang on. So it was a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, French toast. So dipped it in the egg and all the good stuff, and then in crushed cornflakes, and then fried the puppies up.
Ooh, yep. It was good.
It was very
crunchy, tasty.
And you can do that with... Actually, let me just, before we talk any more about these, when you make a PB&J or just a peanut butter one.
Just think about doing what you just did today.
Yes.
With some bacon in the middle.
Okay, next time. We have to do a bacon show then, and then I can do that.
Yeah.
Do you butter your bread before you put the peanut butter on it?
No, I try not. I do once in a while because I start off thinking I just want butter and jam. And then I said, no, I want some peanut butter on it also. But I know the Australians do that.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't never figure out why would you put butter on peanut butter?
Well, I've adapted the Australian tradition. It's good.
It's
if I can stick extra
it's not
butter into some,
necessary.
no, it's not necessary.
Yeah. I mean, if the toast is dry or the bread you're using is like a day or two old and you toast it into drier, then put some butter and margarine on that will moisten it up a bit, and then put the peanut butter. But the peanut butter would moisten up normally because the oils would just soak into the bread.
I know this. I like it. My kids don't though. So they are truly American peanut butter eaters. You can also do crepes with PB&J in it. So like a French PB&J.
Wow. Donuts.
Oh, yes.
So
it's like a jelly donut
like a jelly donut, or like a donut, round donut without a hole in the middle, but like depressed in there. When I was up in Canada, I went to Tim Hortons.
Yes,
and at the time it was fall, and they made like a pumpkin pie donut. So the middle was done in like a pumpkin pie, and then like little crushed stuff over the top of it, like little sweet things, that crunchy. And probably doing the same thing like with peanut butter and jam. Yeah.
Well, now here's you're going to try to sell this to me
on a hamburger.
Yes.
Yeah. Now I read about them, and or was on one of the shows like Dives and Diners and Divas or whatever it's called, and they went to a place where they put peanut butter on the burger, and I said, oh, and then I heard about it at some other places, and I said I got to try it. I did try it. I only made it once, but it wasn't bad.
Okay.
So peanut butter, burger, bacon. Well, I didn't put any ketchup on it.
Well, these people had peanut butter and jelly.
Well, people make hamburgers using Krispy Kreme donuts. They cut them in half, put them on the grill as the bread. That's a bit over the top.
Yeah. Even that's a big statement.
But
even
then
coming from me,
Australians put egg on hamburgers
and
beetroot
and pineapple.
Oh, God.
I actually quite like all of them. I had to cook something the other night with beets in it. I was thinking of you. Like, there we go, Phil.
And then next one, which I have done many, many times, like pound cake, banana bread, put it in a toaster, get a bit of crunch on it, then put the peanut butter over that. Oh.
I have never done that, but I think I'm going to try that one.
So how do you put it in a waffle line? You got to put it in a waffle line.
So you make a PB&J.
Oh, okay.
The whole thing.
Well, like doing the sandwich press stuff.
Yeah, that's right. So everything goes in the waffle line. Now, this is the next one my grandma used to do for me when I was little. So I'd come home from kindergarten or after school, and she'd make Nilla wafers with peanut butter and jelly.
Oh,
and
like a little sandwich.
I have like little hors d'oeuvres.
Yep.
Or Ritz crackers, because that's good because it has the salty.
Yep.
That was very nice.
Well, like we sell the Austin crackers, with this cheese cracker with the little bit of peanut butter in the middle.
Yes, that is
really tasty.
Very nice. Yep. And yes, here we go. You can forget the dumb fruity stuff and go with a PP&P. Peanut butter, pickle, and potato chips.
Okay, it sounds a bit encumbersome because something's going to break and it's going to be the potato chip.
That's exactly right. Although I like potato chips and sandwiches.
Yeah, well, maybe easy thing to do is get the pickled potato chips.
Yes,
so you cut out one thing.
Or you can do like a whole PB&J version of that if you used the sweet relish.
Yeah.
Hey.
Ooh, that might be good. Mm-hmm.
Okay, we might do that.
Or if you want the savory, just go with the hot dog relish. That's a little bit of more savory, mustard, a little bit without the sweet. And then we got it to add sriracha sauce to it or any hot sauce. And then it becomes a
satay. Yeah. That makes perfect sense.
Yep. And add a layer to brie or cream cheese. I haven't tried that.
I like brie with jam. Like often you get like the currant. Yeah. So that I could see that working. And in the olden days, going back to the fancy lady lunches, they used to do cream cheese and peanut butter.
Oh, okay. Yeah, why not?
I think I need the jelly in with that though, because it's two pasty things with that. And now the trick, from what I can see, is how to stop it from getting soggy. Is you do peanut butter on both sides.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then you squish it together, and then it can sit in your lunchbox. Other people say freeze it as well. And then by the time it defrosts for you having lunch, it doesn't have time to go soggy.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Okay. Now, have you ever heard of Fool's Gold Loaf?
No, but it sounds spectacular.
Well, Fool's Gold Loaf, a sandwich made in Colorado Mining Company, a restaurant in Denver. That's the name of the company, is Colorado Mining Company.
Right.
Made famous by
little Elvis Aaron Presley.
Yes, because the Fool's Gold Loaf.
Yes,
ended up being his downfall. Okay, so basically, they were getting a whole loaf of bread,
right?
Scoring out all the middle stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then stuffing it with bacon, bananas, peanut butter, and jelly. And I guess Elvis must have been there on, like a tour or something, found a place. Okay, the story goes. So what they did this is how filling it was. So they hollowed out the loaf of the bread, filled it with the contents of 1 jar of creamy peanut butter.
Oh my God.
Okay. 1 jar of grape jelly, right? And a pound of bacon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a big sandwich.
No wonder he died in the room he died in.
All right. So the story goes on, okay, that the connection with Elvis and the life conceit of Elvis and stuff like that. So Presley's and his friends took his private jet from Graceland, purchased 30 of the sandwiches. 30.
So 30 jars of peanut butter and 30. Okay, yep.
So he bought 30 cents, spent 2 hours eating them and drinking Perrier. Well, he had to have something. And
cut the grease.
And champagne before flying home. So I like enough that to do, on like those private jets, they have to weigh you, make sure you don't go. So it would have been a big difference on the way back.
Hang on. Did they deep fry this sandwich?
According to them, no, in the picture I saw, it wasn't deep fried. I think his private jets took that idea and then started deep frying, make it like a Monte Cristo.
The original was the healthy option.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's been in numerous cookbooks, but it's always been a story.
So 30 loaves they got?
Yeah. 30 loaves. He ate, I don't know if he ate or the crew that was with him probably would have been his not his little entourage. The band members, which was like 5 of them.
Taking care of business, guys.
They ate 2 of them before they got back on. But if you Google it, you'll see a picture of it. And it is 8 inches round.
Dear Lord. That is, yes.
Yeah.
That is frightening. And
each one of those sandwiches at that time cost $49.95 each. But I guess you would buy that, and that's a dinner for 8. Okay, so
and how much did the cardiologists make?
Yeah, well, they get to Elvis. So that's equivalent to in 2019 numbers. So probably now about $250 US.
Dear Lord, I can't even. Can you imagine the smell on the plane on the way back of all that bacon and peanut butter?
No, I'm not thinking about that. Other smells, yeah. Poor seats, yeah.
Oh, God. Yes. Well, if you're going to be excessive, why not?
Yeah. But actually, I got the recipe here. Actually, it's toasted. So they start with the French white bread that is covered with 2 tablespoons of margarine and baked at 350 degrees.
Okay.
All right. So it gives a bit of crunch. Then they add 1 pound of sliced fried bacon until the oil is crispy and drained. So they drain the oil. I'm surprised.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah. The loaf is sliced lengthwise, hollowed out, and filled with the butter, grape, and bacon.
Okay, I think I'm going to...
And then also, here's another key. So because Elvis was there was an allergy with Dickinson's blueberry preserves. So they didn't use the blueberry. I guess the original was using the
he must have had a blueberry allergy.
Yeah. And, there's a lot of restaurants that are famous now for, making like they made their peanut butter. I'm sure people just go there and
absolutely.
spend $250 for a PB&J just to say they had one.
I know someone, Stuart Cowden, that might do that.
Yeah. And then if you're in New York, down Lower Manhattan, there's the PB&J restaurant.
Oh, I love that peanut butter.
Yeah, we got to get that. I don't know what happened to it. It went off the side for whatever. But we got to get back PB&J company.
Yeah, because they had a sauté one. Yeah. And they had the maple one and chocolate, white chocolate. And dark chocolate. Yeah. It was a good brand. And do you know who uses that? Jessica Seinfeld. That's her favorite peanut butter.
Who's
Jerry's wife.
That's Jerry's wife. Jessica, I don't know her name. Well, I don't read the society papers. Yeah.
Yes. So Jerry has that at home.
Yeah. And then so it's also there was on the Food Network on Man versus Food. You remember that?
Yeah, yes. Love that show.
They did one, a Food Gold Loaf Elvis Challenge, but that was done in KC at the Succotash Diner in 2019. And I don't know what the end of it. I found every episode except for that one. But I looked up the Succotash Diner.
Yeah.
It's like typical diner food, pigs in a blanket and stuff like that.
Yum.
But they're famous for the bro nut.
What is in a bro nut?
It's a brownie donut. It's called a bro nut.
Ooh, that sounds fantastic.
Yes, that'd be good with peanut butter.
That would be very good with peanut butter and chocolate is the other combo that's like peanut butter and jelly.
Yes. Okay, so that wraps up this section. We'll go get some peanut butter and stick our mouths together.
Either that or Pepto-Bismol after that story.
Pepto and peanut butter.
Hey, anything could work after what we've heard.
And we'll be right back with our secret code.
Excellent.
Time for our secret code.
Now, what is it this week?
This week, well, we got almost a PB&J.
Okay.
Just a P&J. Phil and Jeanette.
Perfect.
Or you just put P&J. Okay, make it easy.
That's right. Well, that is a match made in heaven.
Yes. That will probably make Junior pretty difficult because when he puts the codes in to accept it, he'll have to put 2. Phil and Jeanette or P&J.
Are you just trying to torture him?
Yes.
Okay.
He deserves it.
I'm sorry.
His father-in-law too.
Right. Okay. Okay. So, if you want to come down and help torture the staff, just joking, not really. We are located at 73 Cochrane's Road, Moorabbin. And we are open Monday through Thursday, 10 to 5. Friday, after daylight savings is over, we're changing to Fridays 10 to 6. So that gives you a little bit more time to get there. Saturday, 10 to 5. And Sunday, 10 to 4.
Okay, and if you want to send in your comments or constructive criticism, send it to podcasts@usafoods.com.au. Don't send it to our alternate address, as we don't get, no.
And don't forget, if you've had a chuckle with this or you have any expats living here or friends at home, just you can feel free to share the podcast. And if you'd like to give us a review, that would be lovely as well.
Okay, it's time for feedback. Barbara, what do we got?
We got me in trouble. My mom.
Because you were talking nasty to me.
No, I was nice to you, but I forgot this tradition that I did. She goes, how could you not talk about what your grandfather did? I'm like, what are you talking about?
Barbara.
I know. Well, we do this thing. Now, if there's any little kids that have beliefs in magical creatures, this is not the time.
Get your children out of the room.
That's right.
Okay.
So the Easter Bunny in our house leaves carrots, like with the tops on them, like the little Dutch carrots, all bitten off, like down the stairs around the house. And my mom did it for me. Evidently, my grandfather did it for her. Oh, I didn't know who started it. She goes, but that's the best part of it. I was like,
no wonder. Your mother still talks to you?
I know. It's a wonder. It is a wonder. She was harassing me today because I was trying to call her during the week and the call didn't work. Yeah. She goes, I'm still trying to find out about that thing I asked you. And I'm like, okay, Mom, jeez.
She's going to disown you.
She is, but she had lovely memories of Easter's past, and she sent a whole bunch of. She went to Lincoln Center, which is a little bit of a fancy shopping center, and pictures in the kids' store with like eyelet dresses and little shoes and things. And that was it. And then you did something that we had talked about, and then you had this for Easter.
What did I do? No.
Goodness
well, that's just a typical thing. You know, when you take to know you did something, you did it.
What did you do?
Well, do what? Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Me?
No. Somehow I can hear this in an age of a 7, 12, 15, 20-year-old.
No, it just stays with us forever. Forever. We deny everything.
Yeah, that's the safest way to be. I know nothing.
I know nothing. So I ventured out into the unknown.
Yes.
Okay. And did something that is an Italian tradition in many houses, but not in my house.
Right.
Because we're Siciliano. And we do mostly like vegetables and fish and a bit of pasta and stuff. But this was pizza rustica. Okay. So I remember it at the original Sbarro's on 65th Street off of 17th Avenue, going in there, and they had it on the counters. And the smell and it's just, beautiful. You go in and you start drooling, you know.
Right.
So I decided, let me go take a shot at this and see how to make it. So I did the old thing. I went on YouTube.
Yep.
And I watched a few of them, and I said, well, they're both the interior, the filling is both basically the same, just that we're different on the crust. So what it is this big stuffed pizza. It's a pie. It's not, they call it a pizza, but it's a pie that's about 4 inches high, stuffed. Okay. And the crust goes around the bottom, just like a regular pie, comes up, and then topping.
Right.
So the topping for this one, the crust, was made basically with flour, butter, a little bit of salt, eggs. That was it.
Everything good.
And into the processor, you know, I did it in the KitchenAid. Comes out, let it rest for an hour. Easy to work with. I'd probably next time a little bit more drier.
Yeah.
Okay. Loads of butter. It's like 2 sticks of butter. So 200 grams of butter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what made it easy. And the other person made it more with a traditional pizza crust.
Right.
which you got to rise it, make it rise.
No time for that.
Okay. So then I had to go get all the fixings. So the fixings are basically cheese and meats, right? So I had to get the ricotta. I had to get the bocconcini, which means little cherries, which is like little mozzarella.
Yeah.
Or you could use mozzarella. Some prosciutto. I bought some Italian sausage that I grilled and chopped up into it. Some dried Italian sausage, which is supersat. Okay. And I had a problem with the girl at the counter. You know, I was talking to Tony, little Tony. I told you he's 5x5. So and I said, I'll have the gabagool. And she's like
What?
lost. Yeah. And the capicola. Yeah. Oh, you would think. So anyway, so you get all that and you like put it all together and some eggs into it and some cracked pepper and you just mix it all up and that's your filling. And then you cook it in a very slow oven for about an hour and a half. So it all just comes together, all the cheeses and stuff. So it's like an Italian quiche.
Yum.
And yeah.
That sounds amazing.
I'm sorry I forgot to bring it.
I
today,
know.
But you'll have it tomorrow.
I'm thinking about it. Phil goes, I had these things for you, but then I forgot them. I'm like,
Yeah.
thank you.
Oh,
Oh, that's tragic.
too bad.
I'm so sorry for you because I'm having it. I just thought of a new drinking game.
Oh,
If someone listens to this podcast, every time I say yum, they'll be off their heads by the end of it. I was just thinking everything was good.
but anyway, so go on YouTube and the recipes are there. Watch a few of them. Check the one you like. Find out the lady's from Boston. She doesn't say Boston. I can tell by her husband's cap.
Right?
W2 on it with a Boston logo, the Red Sox.
Yep.
She could be very annoying, but like most Italians are. Okay.
I didn't say that. I have nothing to do
Hey,
with
I'm
that.
Italian. I can say that.
Yes, you
Okay?
can. I
Okay.
cannot.
And she just goes on and like just get to the point, you know. But you know, she has it's like all like planned out, right? So she has all her good buddies come over. So she has a brother come over, and of course he's having twins. And we got to make double the amount now because he's having twins. Come, get out of here! Yeah. And then her other friend next door, I loved him, and she brings some wine in, and he comes in with the pastries. So he's got the cannolis, he got the sweet owls, he got the ricotta cakes. Enough, you know. How do you make this? So it runs about 10 minutes. It could be down to about 3.
Right.
Okay.
All right. I will just fast forward through it.
Yeah.
We do that. And there's another recipe, which I will, someone was lovely enough to share a recipe with us, but I can't open it. So I shall open it and we will talk about it next time we are talking.
You'll have to give it to our technical staff.
Yes.
Okay, now we're back with Nat Nosh.
Love is fine, but so is swine. Just don't make me choose. 'Cause understand, I'm still a man with the pork fat baby back blues.
Da, 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 da. So, Barbara, you go to the first one.
Okay. Today is National Coffee Cake Day.
Ooh,
Do you know we should do a show on coffee
I
cakes?
love coffee cake.
Me too.
I just found a whole app or website just devoted to coffee cakes.
Really? What is it?
It's the coffee cake app.
The producer's trying to say something.
The last month we did cakes and we've done coffee.
Yes,
Yeah,
so
but
you did
that's-
coffee and cake.
That's right. Coffee cake is a different thing. It's a whole different thing.
But there is a site there. It's on Facebook as coffee cake, and they have all the recipes and everything there.
Ooh, I like a sour cream coffee cake. I like the streusel topping.
It got to just be, it's 90%. The New Yorkers want 90% crumbs.
Yes.
10% yellow cake.
I
on the bottom.
always used to think about making one to eat for breakfast, but I thought I don't want to get up that early.
Yeah, I'll make it the night before.
That is true.
I think Flavio would like this kind of coffee cake.
Yeah, Flavia would like this kind of coffee cake.
Flavio.
Flavia was making smart aleck remarks about American coffee again.
Ah,
He's been afraid to come back too. Have you noticed?
because he's probably just drinking the espresso.
That's
Fabio.
That's exactly
Yeah.
right.
He's probably all upset like Paulie Walnuts, going to get espresso. Like, that's our stuff, What do these people have? We should be getting a big from it, right?
That's
We should be
exactly-
controlling this.
Yes, I think he is a bit Polly, but I think he's a little bit Stevie Van Zandt. What's his name? Okay, I can't forget his name. But he's like
Steven. What's his character's name? Yeah.
I can't think now. But he's a bit like that too.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Hey, not wrong. I know a lot of guys like that. It's called attitude.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
I had a T-shirt. I'm from Brooklyn, the attitude capital of the world.
And no one would argue with that. Not a person. Okay. So coffee cake. Yeah. I don't care what the producer says. We're going to do something on that. But National Beer Day as well.
So
doesn't go with coffee cake.
No, but you have the coffee cake in the morning.
Yes.
And by the afternoon,
you have beer.
Beer.
Sounds good to me.
Now, what's your favorite type of beer? Oh, yeah, we can talk about beer now.
We can.
Yeah.
I don't like a bitter beer. So here I'll go to the Mexican beer and drink like Corona or Dos Equis. I like
sort of a
lighter beer.
Yeah. Like Corona's and I look at like Corona, and I remember playing golf with Leo in Florida, and the girl comes around in the little golf cart selling beer and sandwiches and stuff. And she was dressed for the heat too. I don't know. That's how they get their tips. But anyway, that's another story.
Yes.
Another Leo story.
Leo stories
yes.
are great.
But we had the Silver Bullet.
Of course, Silver Bullet.
Yeah, which is like 16 ounces of pure joy. Light beer.
Yes.
Right? Light, no carbs, not light alcohol.
Yes.
I think it's like 6.1. After you drink one of those.
How was your golf after that?
Fun. We had a great time.
I do. Yes, I can imagine that.
Yeah. See, like for me, I'm a seasonal type beer drinker. Mm-hmm. So I like the light beers during the summertime.
Yep.
The heavier beer, I like the IPAs. I like the fruitiness. But, the IPA is a real heavy beer. You only really could drink like one, maybe two at a stretch if you're sitting at a bar at a time.
Yep.
Because they are so heavy,
There's a local brewery near here, and we went to what was going to be a 50th, but then it had to be a 51st because everything closed down, right? And I was having raspberry sour beer. And
that's a German thing.
Yeah, and it was fantastic.
That's a German thing. Yeah, so the Germans use wheat beer.
Yep.
Which is very sour. And at Cooper's, I don't know if they still make it, but they make a very similar beer with it actually ferments in a bottle. And you see the yeast, on the bottle.
Oh, wow.
It's a yeast beer, not a wheat beer, on the bottom of the bottle.
Yeah.
So when you pour, you got to be very careful to keep the yeast there.
Yeah. Well,
okay. Yeah. And it's very sour. And then the Germans would mix that with some sweet raspberry syrup.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what you had.
That was so good. I think I'm going to have to revisit that. And then tomorrow, this would go with your beer.
Yes.
National Empanada Day.
Oh. Empanadas. That's one thing I do miss out of New York, like in Queens and Jamaica, is empanadas. They used to make such great empanadas there.
Yes.
Little greasy. That's like a turnover with meat in it, but, very seasoned.
Yeah,
nicely.
It's kind of like a samosa sort of thing, as in you have it's really beautiful, like filling and fried and the bubble, the pastry sort of bubbles a little bit.
Yeah, but the ones we had, they weren't, I think they were baked, but probably with a lot of oil on them. You know, so but they weren't like fried like a samosa was fried, where it's crunchier. Really nice. And then also on the 9th, on Friday.
Yep.
This is something also very popular in American Chinese restaurants. Was Chinese almond cookie day.
Yes.
So you had a choice at the end of the meal. Do you want a fortune cookie or an almond cookie?
It was the circle with the blanched almond in the middle. There's beautiful, sweet, and lovely.
A little bit of espresso, which you couldn't get at the.
Now you'd have your green tea.
Yeah.
But I think of San Francisco, and I think of that, going and having Chinese food in San Francisco and having the little cookies at the end. And it's also National Gin and Tonic Day. Yeah. Another great partnership.
Yes. Marriage made in heaven.
That is it. And to quote my grandfather, he used to say sook nicely. Like...
you're a sook.
No, he'd go, come here, sook.
Oh, okay.
And he'd have a gin and tonic, and he goes, this is what got the British through India. With the quinine.
It's funny, like gin is not a thing that everybody likes. A lot of people just don't like gin.
Well, I think the mistake some people make that are like just starting it, like they'll drink it like straight. It's not a straight Unless you have like the liqueur, like there's a lovely elderflower gin that I've had. You could do that on the rocks.
Right.
But it's not something that you just shoot without burning your whole
I know a lot of guys
esophagus.
drink gin straight when I lived in New York.
Ooh.
But your Herman drinks gin straight.
No, I don't think it's straight. I don't know. Mom, can you check for me? We'll be back. That's what Herman used to have, like just a little bit of something in the garage when he had enough of all of us. Right?
I love it.
Where's Herman? He's in the garage. Or occasionally I go to the fridge in the garage to get like, a soda. And there Herman's just having a little cocktail.
Yeah.
Just all on his own.
Yeah, just get and get out. Yeah,
I'm like, sorry, bye. I love you so much. Okay, now, Saturday, April 10th, National Cinnamon Crescent Day. So
I never had a cinnamon crescent.
No, I haven't either. Brendan looked it up.
Yeah.
And it was sort of like a croissant.
Yeah, well, a crescent roll is like, it looks like a croissant, but it's not.
No, it's bread dough sort of thing. It's puffy bread dough. But you could probably do the crescent rolls we have and just sprinkle some.
Yeah, I guess before you roll them up, you sprinkle a little cinnamon sugar on
It's like a cinnamon roll, but in a crescent shape. Why does it need a day?
Yeah, exactly. What a waste of a day.
Yes.
10th. We have to put something else in there. Make our own
holiday on day. Yeah, okay, I'm in on that. Now, Sunday, April 11th.
Yep. It's National Cheese Fondue Day. Remember how popular that used to be?
Oh, my God. We got a fondue dish and forks for our wedding.
You still have it?
No, I got rid of it. And then someone wanted I was like, oh no.
Yeah, it made a bit of a comeback recently.
Yeah, it has. And it's also the celebration of the worst hangover I ever had in my entire life. Brendan's sister came over and was her friend from Scandinavia. Yeah. So Sonia, that's right. So they had like the real fondue. Yeah. So we're having fondue and we were poor then, so inexpensive white wine. Mm-hmm. I can still feel the hurt.
Still full.
Yeah, that is it. Yeah. But cheese fondue is I never really did the fondue with the oil that you put the meat in or anything else, or the chocolatey one.
No, I always had the cheese. We used to go to this place in Brooklyn, Wine and Cheese Bar during the day, and really nice setup. And, and that's all they served. You could either have a fondue, or you could have regular cheese on a platter, and wine. That was it.
Nice.
And acoustic music playing.
Oh, what a good place.
Yeah.
I could do that.
I don't think anybody could do that anymore.
No, because everyone has special things that they need. Yeah. Oh, well, on the cheese theme, Monday, April 12th, National Grilled Cheese Sandwich Day. So
I love grilled cheese.
So good.
Yes. Now, like people now say like, you should grill it, which been all this time grilling the cheese wrong. You should put the cheese in the oven and grill it on the bread and then put it together.
I like it fried.
Yeah.
So do you put butter on the outside?
Of course. And on the inside. Sometimes.
Yeah, I do that too. Zane switched to mayo.
Yeah,
she puts mayo on the outside, but I still like the butter.
The butter, butter is better.
And
then you can put other stuff in there besides the cheese, like pickle slices or bacon and tomato.
Ooh, I've done tomato, and I like dipping it in a bowl of tomato soup.
Yeah, I would eat it with some mayonnaise on the side. I do that.
Well, you have to get your mayo intake, and it's also National Licorice Day.
I'm not a fan of licorice. I don't like black licorice. I think that's disgusting. A lot of people love it. Red licorice, I know a lot of people love it. And they fight over between the red vines and the Twizzlers. I don't see the attraction. Sorry.
Well, I had the happiest day last week when I sauntered into work, went in the lunchroom, and there was a broken box of Good and Plenty's on the table. And I went, I don't think anyone else likes licorice but me, so I can go past every day and kind of have five.
Still there.
It's still there. And if you eat too many, your mouth goes numb, which is a bonus.
From the anesthetic.
And I love licorice ice cream.
Ugh. I don't remember seeing that at Baskin Robbins 31.
No, that's something I have found.
I'm sure it's been there.
They used to have like the little licorice whiskers on the little clown cones when they did cats.
Okay.
Okay.
And on the 13th, here's a nice one. Peach Cobbler Day.
Yum.
I love peach cobbler.
Peach cobbler.
See, that's one thing that also, we're talking about buffets and stuff but we were talking that off air on the buffets, weren't we?
So, off air, we had a conversation about buffets.
And serving sizes. But at the buffets in Vegas, there's always a peach cobbler, an apple cobbler, and right next to the ice cream machine.
Yum.
How good is that? Because it's hot.
And then
it's crunchy on top because they put the crumbs on it, and then the cold ice cream melting through it.
And there's a few ways to make cobbler. So you can do like a pie with a lattice crust on top with just no bottom crust. Or you can do it with just the crumble on top.
In the big pan, yeah.
And then I've got my, which I lovingly call my white trash recipe, which I did the other week because we had a box of cake mix that was broken. Like it ripped up. And Sean goes, I was going to throw this away, but could you do something with this? And I went, yes, sir, I can. So if you I got a couple of cans of peaches in syrup. You pour them in, and then you sprinkle the cake mix over the top of it. Yeah. And you get a whole stick of butter. And here, that's 2 sticks. Yeah. And you chop it up and put it all over the top. And then you put it in the oven, and it goes bubbly and crunchy.
Well, did I miss that day? Was I not at work the next day?
I had some that was there. It was there for 2 days, and it was there.
How did I miss it?
I told you it was there. I can't make you eat. I can lead a horse to water.
Okay. So that's the end of that notch about the end of our show. Number 28.
Wow. That's like a very big achievement. And we're still talking, and I'm still working for you. So that's about
I mean, after the conversation about the recruitment station,
Listen, there's no telling.
We might be banned off the air.
Yeah, Brendan might have to put one of those explicit marks.
If you have any children listening to at this part of the show, tell them to leave the room. Yeah. Or get out of the car. Yeah.
Hey, I've got another public announcement.
Boo!
Guess who is coming to see us record our show in the shop?
Flavio.
He's going to talk about his U.S. food experiences. This is going to be interesting. I just might stand back and watch you two go.
Well, that might be worth the price of admission.
Absolutely.
And the admission is free. No purchase necessary.
That's right.
Open to citizens of the U.S. 18 and older. Yeah.
I think that's it. I think we should
say goodnight, Dick.
Good night, Dick.
Okay, there you go. So that's part of our Rowan and Martin's laughing sign off.
Laughing, my dad.
Okay.
Suck it to me.